start my workout for today. All I'm using today is my jump rope and an exercise mat. So grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. If you don't have a mat, a towel may suffice. And if you don't have a jump rope, you really can just substitute with any kind of cardio exercise you want. Well, I'm jumping rope, so you really do not need any exercise equipment whatsoever to follow along with this workout. There are timestamps in the description box down below the video. So if you would prefer to just skip straight ahead to the workout, you can go ahead and use the chapter markers to do that. But if you would like to see the exercises briefly demonstrated and explained before we begin, let's go ahead and get into that right now. So let's start with jump rope. I have Victoria here with me today. Victoria is my beautiful silver jump rope with these pretty light pink metallic handles. If you would like to know where I get my jump ropes, there is a link and a coupon code in the description box down below the video. So click on the link and use coupon code RUDEBECCA to save an additional 10% on your jump rope. It doesn't have to be this exact jump rope. You can use that coupon code to save 10% on any of their jump ropes. They're great jump ropes, but any jump rope will do, and any style of jump rope will do. So I always kind of just jog in place like this while I'm jumping rope. But if you're more comfortable jumping with your feet together, great, jump with your feet together. If you're really good at jump rope and you want to challenge yourself, you can do a more challenging jump rope variation. You can do high knees or jump rope jacks. You can do a boxer shuffle, you can jump side to side, twist jumps, it doesn't matter. The only important thing is that we are counting revolutions of the jump rope. We're going to be doing sets of 100 with the jump rope. So when I say a set of 100, I'm talking about 100 revolutions of the rope. So any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. If you don't have a jump rope, you can just pantomime jumping rope, that's absolutely fine. So you can just swing an imaginary rope and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or if you want to do it the way I do it, you can kind of jog in place. But if you're going to do that, you don't necessarily need to swing an imaginary rope. You can just jog in place, or you can do high knees or jumping jacks, mountain climbers, pendulum, toe taps. Any kind of cardio exercise you want to do is fine. Just keep in mind that we're doing sets of 100. So make sure it's some kind of cardio exercise that you can realistically do sets of 100 of. Okay, the other thing you could do is to just treat each set of 100 with the jump rope as being equivalent to plus or minus about 1 minute of moderate paced cardio. So if you don't have a jump rope, you could just hop on the exercise bike or the treadmill or an elliptical or a Stairmaster if you have access to something like that. You could do up and down the steps. So if you have stairs in your home or in your apartment complex, that's another great option. You could also take your workout to a local beach or a park or a hiking trail that has steps. If you have access to the field at your local high school, you could do up and down the bleachers, or you could jog around the track. So, or you could also jog around your neighborhood. You could go around the block or something, whatever's gonna work for you. Just get creative and use what's available to you. But basically, we're going to be doing, the longest cardio section is going to be 5 sets of 100 with the jump rope. So if you treat that as being equivalent to plus or minus about 5 minutes or so of some kind of moderate paced cardio, that's the longest cardio section. So that's a way to kind of gauge what sort of cardio activity might be appropriate for you. But you could also shadow box, or if you have a heavy bag, I love that option, you could work on your heavy bag. But basically, you're just going to treat each set of 100 I'm doing with my jump rope as being roughly equivalent to about 1 minute or so of moderate paced cardio. Okay, so that's the cardio section. So other than jump rope, the only other thing I'm doing is 5 very simple, very basic body weight exercises. So let's go through those 5 exercises very quickly, and then I will explain the format. I'm starting with push-ups. So you can do any push-up variation you want. Just remember these 3 bullet points for your push-ups. Number 1, you want your head in line with your spine. Number 2, shoulders away from the ears. And number 3, flat back. Head, shoulders, back. Okay, so coming down into your plank position, you want to start by spreading out all 10 fingers. Place your hands directly underneath your shoulders and then step your feet back so that you are in a plank position. And here you want your head in line with your spine. So you want to make sure your head's not dropping down like this. You do not need to overcorrect by hyperextending your neck and jutting your chin out. So if you just imagine that you are standing with your back up against the wall and gently pressing the back of your head into the wall, that's where you want your head to be, and that's where you want your head to stay. So you want your head perfectly in line with your spine, and once it's there, your head should never move. The other thing you want to think about is shoulders away from the ears. So I'm talking about this. It's very common for people to kind of sink down into their shoulders. The way you fix that is to really press the ground away from you. Visualize pushing the ground away from you so that you're as high as you can get in that plank pose. And think about this area of your back that's between your shoulder blades. Think about trying to touch the ceiling with that part of your back. Okay, so really actively press the ground away from you so that your shoulders are away from your ears. And your third bullet point is flat back. So it's going to be tempting to allow your hips or your belly to droop down towards the mat like this. You want to keep your back flat by tightening up your abs and using your ab muscles to lift your hips up high and keep them lifted high. So if you imagine that someone is about to come along and punch you as hard as they can in your stomach and you're bracing for that impact, that is how tight your abs should be, okay? So remember those 3 bullet points: head in line with the spine, shoulders away from the ears, flat back. And then once your body is in that beautifully, perfectly straight line from your heels all the way to your shoulders, nothing moves. If you're doing the push-ups from your knees, your straight line is going to be from your knees to your shoulders, but it's the same thing. Nothing is going to move. So you're going to bend your elbows and lower your chest as close to the mat as you can without breaking that straight line from your knees to your shoulders, and then press yourself back up. All right, and that's it. So your goal is to get your chest all the way down to the mat, but you may or may not be there. What's far more important is maintaining that flat back. So if you are unable to get your chest all the way down to the mat, you do not want to compensate for that by lowering your hips or your belly down to the mat. All right, another very common mistake if you are unable to get your chest all the way down to the mat is to compensate by lowering your forehead down to the mat. Remember, your head should be in line with your spine and your head should stay in line with your spine. So if you are unable to get your chest all the way down to the mat, that's fine. You have 2 options. Your first option is to put your knees down. So if you are unable to get your chest all the way down to the mat without breaking that straight line from your heels to your shoulders, just try doing the push-ups from your knees. That is, I think, the preferred option. I would rather have you maintain that full range of motion, build up your strength there, and then work on doing the push-up from your toes. But you do have another option, and that is simply to shorten up your range of motion. So if you are unable to get your chest all the way down to the mat, just shorten up your range of motion. If you can't get any closer than this without lowering your hips or your belly down to the mat, then just stop here and press yourself back up, and that's your push-up. And the same applies if you're doing the push-ups from your knees and you still cannot get your chest all the way down to the mat. Do not compensate by lowering your hips or your belly down to the mat. That's causing an arch in my back. We want to keep our backs flat. We want to maintain that straight line from the knees to the shoulders. Do not compensate by lowering your forehead down to the mat. I think a lot of people do that on a subconscious level to kind of trick themselves into thinking they're getting all the way down. Getting your chest all the way down is a goal, but again, you may not be there today. What's far more important is your objective of maintaining that straight line, keeping your head in line with your spine, keeping your shoulders away from your ears, keeping your back flat. So if you cannot get your chest all the way down, just shorten up your range of motion, get your chest as close to the mat as you can without breaking that straight line, and then push yourself back up. And that's your push-up. So whatever push-up variation you choose, just make sure that you are minding your form. Make sure that you are keeping your body in one perfectly straight line the entire time, and just remember those 3 bullet points: head in line with the spine, shoulders away from the ears, flat back, and you'll be fine. Okay, so for my push-up variation, I'm going to be doing pike, toe tap push-ups. So the push-up part itself is just a regular standard push-up, and then after each push-up, I'm going to be doing a pike toe tap. So that just means I'm lifting my hips up and pushing them back so that my body is in kind of a V. Again, I want a flat back, and I want one straight line from my palms all the way to my shoulders, one straight line from my hips all the way to my heels, okay? So flat back, legs as straight as possible. You can have a slight bend to your knees if that helps, if you have tight hamstrings. But ideally what you're going for is this kind of downward facing dog pose, but with your heels elevated. And I'm going to pick up one hand, I'm going to reach back and tap the toes on the opposite side, and then return to my plank position, okay? So I'm just alternating sides for my pike toe tap with each rep. So my push-up variation is going to look like this. Push up, pike toe tap, push up, pike toe tap on the other side, okay? So again, any push-up variation you want to do is fine, but that's our first exercise. Next is abs. Really, any ab exercise you want to do will work, but here's what I'm doing. So I'm going to be starting down here on my mat. I'm going to have my hands clasped behind my head, and I'm going to start with my legs straight. Then I'm going to lift my shoulder blades up off the mat, and I'm going to lift my heels up off the mat a few inches. From here, I'm going to do a reverse crunch. So I'm bending my knees and crunching them in towards my chest. Then I'm going to straighten my legs, and I'm going to keep them more or less straight as I lower them down, and that's one rep. So crunch, straighten the legs, lower. Crunch, extend the legs, control the movement on the way down. So make sure you're not just letting your legs drop down. Make sure every aspect of the movement is under control. If it's too difficult to keep your shoulder blades up off the mat the entire time, you can keep your back flat on the mat and do the exact same exercise. So if I was doing it this way, I just have my hands underneath my booty for comfort. So you would just lift your heels up off the mat a few inches, and then it's the same exercise. Crunch the knees in, straighten the legs, and lower. It's a bit easier this way, but it's still pretty challenging. So if that's too difficult for you, then again, really any ab exercise you want to do is fine. Any sit-up variation, any crunch variation, you can do standing abs. There's obviously a million different ab exercises, so pick whatever one works for you, but that is what I'm going to be doing. For my next exercise, I'm doing a lunge variation. So again, really any lunge variation you want to do is fine. I'm doing a reverse lunge variation. You can do forward lunges, side lunges, TikTok lunges, dragon lunges, curtsy lunges, doesn't matter, okay? Any lunge variation you want to do is fine, but I'm doing a reverse lunge variation. So I'm going to be starting with my feet about shoulder width apart or hip width apart, whatever's comfortable for you. And then I'm going to step one foot back behind me, bend both knees, and come down into a lunge. Okay, so I'm going to be tapping my back knee to the ground. If your range of motion allows you to do that and you want to, great. Just again, make sure the movement is under control so you don't bang your knee into the ground because it hurts. I've done it more than once. But regardless, the movement should be under control whether or not you're going to tap that back knee to the ground. The main thing you want to be aware of is that you have about a 90-degree angle in your front knee. So you're going to step back, bend both knees, come down into your lunge. What you're going for is about a 90-degree angle in this front knee. So you want this front knee to be more over the heel of your front foot as opposed to being out over your toes like this. So keep that in mind. I promise not to come to your house with a protractor and measure the angle in your front knee. So don't stress about it too much, but that's what you're going for. And then from there, I'm going to be doing a Supergirl. So if the Supergirl is too difficult, you can just do reverse lunges. Step back and lunge, and then step forward, alternating legs with each lunge. Step back and lunge, step forward. If you're a beginner, you can hold on to something for support. You can shorten up your range of motion, whatever you need to do. But I'm going to be adding a Supergirl. So instead of stepping my foot forward and returning to my starting position, I'm going to step back and lunge, and then I'm going to pick up this back foot, and I'm going to hinge at the hips so that I'm in this kind of warrior three pose. Then I'm going to put the foot back and step forward, okay? So I'm extending my arms out in front of me, and I'm trying to get my torso perpendicular to my standing legs. So I'm trying to make my body into like a T, okay? That's what you're going for. However, you wanna make sure you're not actively trying to straighten your standing leg. Do not lock out the knee of your standing leg. Make sure there's a soft bend to your standing leg as you transition into that warrior three pose. Okay, so it's going to look like this. Step back, bend both knees and lunge. And now warrior three. So picking up the back leg, coming into that warrior three pose, or Supergirl pose, tapping that back knee down again and stepping forward. Now other side. Step back and lunge. Supergirl. Tap the knee back down and step forward. Okay, we're alternating sides with each rep. How long to hold your Supergirl pose or your Warrior 3 pose? The answer is until you feel like you could hold it longer if you wanted to. So you just want to hold it for a couple seconds until you feel really secure, really solid in that pose, and it's really under control, and you could hold it longer if you wanted to. Once you have that sensation, you can come out of it. Okay, so the point is that you're not just kind of going through the motions. It's not just a kick. You want to really be in this pose and hold your balance here. See, now right here, I'm balanced, I'm feeling good. I can hold it for a long time if I wanted to. As soon as I have that sensation, I'm going to come out and go into my next rep. Okay, so just a couple of seconds, but we're not timing it or anything like that. So it's not like you have to hold it for 2 seconds or 5 seconds or 10 seconds, just until you have that sensation that you could hold it all day if you wanted to. And that's it for our lunge variation. So if the Supergirl is too difficult for you, obviously eliminate it, hold on to something for support, or just do any other lunge variation. But just make sure that your shoulders are back and down away from your ears, keep your chest lifted high, keep your abs tight, and make sure that the weight is always in your heel. So again, just going for about a 90-degree angle in that front leg. And that's it. That is our lunge variation. The third exercise is going to be glute bridge raises. So I'm going to be down on my mat again for these. I think we're all familiar with glute bridge raises. Very, very simple exercise. So I'm going to be on my back with my knees bent. My feet are flat on the mat. And I'm just going to have my hands down at my sides like this. And from here, all I'm going to do is press my heels into the mat, actively press the ground away from me with my heels as I lift my hips up as high as I can, like I'm trying to touch the ceiling with my hip flexors. Squeezing my glutes at the top and then controlling the movement on the way down. And that's it. That's the whole exercise. It's so simple. So press your heels into the mat, lift your hips, squeeze the glutes, and then make sure you're controlling the movement on the way down. So you're not just letting your hips drop down. You're controlling the movement. You don't have to go this slowly, but this is how much under control the movement should be. Okay, so just lift and lower the hips. If you want to increase the difficulty, you could place your feet on an exercise ball or maybe a plyo box. You could add weight. You could hold a couple of dumbbells or a sandbag or a kettlebell on your hip flexors. There are plenty of ways to increase the difficulty, but we're doing quite a few reps, so that's all I'm doing today. I wanted to keep it simple, and I didn't want to add any weight, and I didn't want to use any equipment. So I'm just doing regular plain old glute bridge raises, and I think most beginners can handle those, but as always, if you need help with a beginner modification, I'm right here to help, so please just ask. But that is our fourth exercise, just one more to go. Our fifth and final exercise is a squat variation. So with your squats, I want you to remember flat back, weight in the heels. Those are your bullet points for squats. And again, you can do any squat variation you want. These same principles will apply to whatever squat variation you choose. So let's just go over the form for a basic air squat, and then you can apply that to whatever squat variation you want to do. So the first thing I want you to think about is trying to tuck your shoulder blades into your back pockets so that your shoulders are back and down. It's also going to help you keep your chest lifted nice and high, which is what we want. You want to maintain that sensation of your chest feeling lifted throughout the entire exercise. The next thing I want you to think about is really tightening up your abs. So just like we did with our push-ups, if you imagine someone is about to come along and punch you as hard as they can in your stomach, and you're bracing for that impact, that is how tight your abs should be. And then the last thing I want you to think about before you think about squatting, because from here, if you think about your squat as kind of going straight down, what's going to tend to happen is that your knees are going to end up out over your toes. And just like with our lunges, we want our knees to be more over the heels as opposed to being over the toes. So what you do to correct that is right before you think of squatting, I want you to think of hinging at the hips. So push your booty back. Imagine trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty. At the same time, remember, those shoulder blades are tucked into the back pockets. Shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high. So you're trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty, but you're keeping that chest lifted. So think about also trying to touch the wall in front of you with your chest. You want your spine to be elongated so that your back stays flat and the weight stays in your heels. So you see that if I think of squatting straight down, my knees are tracking over my toes, but as soon as I think about hinging at the hips instead, you see that now my knees are more over my heels. I can actually pick up my toes. All of my weight is in my heels. And from this position is where you can go ahead and sink down into your squat and then press your heels into the ground, straighten your legs to stand. Okay, so shoulders back and down, chest lifted high, abs are tight, hinging at the hips, push the booty back, keep your back flat, keep the weight in your heels as you sink down into your squat, and then press the ground away from you with your heels as you straighten your legs to stand. And that's your form for just a basic air squat. So you can just do air squats if you want. If you want to make it more difficult, you can add weight, you can add a jump, you can add a kick, you can do any squat variation you want. I'm going to keep it very simple today because again, we're doing a big set of 150 squats unbroken. So I didn't want to choose anything that was too challenging because I didn't want it to take forever to get through my squats. But if you're stronger than I am and you can do 150 jump squats or thrusters or something unbroken, go for it. Okay, I'm just going to be doing a step out squat and I'm going to add a calf raise. So I'm going to start with my feet together and I'm going to step one foot out to the side as I sink down into my squat. And then as I stand, I'm just going to add a little calf raise. So lifting my heels up, lowering my heels with control, and then I'm going to step the foot back and return to my starting position. And I'll alternate sides with each rep. So with my next rep, I'll step out to the opposite direction as I come down into my squat. And then as I stand, I'm going to do a calf raise. So just lifting and lowering the heels with control, step the foot back in, return to my starting position. Step out and squat, lift the heels, step out and squat, calf raise, step it back. So similar to what I did with my lunges, after I did my Supergirl, I kind of came back down into my lunge. I'm doing the same thing with my squats. So after I do this calf raise, I'm kind of coming back down into my squat, okay? So if you don't want to do that, you can just step in, but I'm going to be kind of coming back into that squat pose, just so you know. You do whatever works for you. Just make sure if you're doing a calf raise that the movement is under control. So as you lift your heels, you're controlling the movement. And again, as you lower the heels, you're not just dropping down, you're lowering the heels down with control. You're placing them down. All right, so again, if it helps to hold on to something for support, you can have a chair or a plyo box or a bar stool in front of you. Something strong enough to support your entire body weight. Even if you just have your fingertips lightly on the chair, for example, to check your balance. In the event that you do lose your balance, you want to make sure that whatever you're holding onto for support is actually strong enough to support your entire body weight. Otherwise, there's no point to it. And then just make sure that if you're using something for support, it is also sturdy. So for example, don't use a little flimsy plastic folding chair like this one, please. Don't use anything that's going to collapse or fold up on you or break when you put weight on it. So make sure that it's good quality, make sure it's well made, and make sure it's in decent condition. And make sure that if you're going to be holding on to something for support, like a chair or a bar stool, for example, that it is stable, meaning that it cannot slide from underneath you. So if I was holding onto a chair for support for this exercise, I would place my chair on top of my exercise mat to help it stay put. But as long as whatever you're holding onto for support is strong enough to support your entire body weight, sturdy enough so that it will not break or fold up or collapse on you when you put weight on it, and stable enough so that it cannot slide from underneath you, then any number of elevated surfaces will work. So if you need to hold on to something for support, if you're taking your workout to the park, a park bench or a picnic table is a great option, maybe a tree. If you're at home, could be your kitchen counter, dining room table, maybe coffee table or the arm of your couch. If you have a plyo box obviously is ideal, or a weight bench or something like that. So just get creative and use what you've got. But again, just make sure that if you are holding on to something for support, it is strong enough, sturdy sturdy enough and stable enough to be used safely. And that's it. That's all we're doing today. So you do any squat variation you want. And if you need help with beginner modifications for squats, please let me know. Same thing with push-ups. If you're an absolute beginner and you can't even do knee push-ups and you think that means you can't do push-ups, yes, you can. Please reach out to me because I will show you how you can do push-ups from a standing position. You don't even need to get down onto the mat. So I kind of went over a few beginner options, but if you need any further help with beginner modifications, I'm always here to help. So please ask if you need help, but that's it, okay? You can do any push-up variation you want, any ab exercise you want. Glute bridge raises, I think everyone can pretty much handle, even if you're an absolute beginner, but if you need help, let me know. But for your lunges and your squats, again, any variations of those two exercises you want is fine. So here is the format. It's a very simple format. We're just building with each round. We're doing 5 rounds, and with each round, we're going to be doing 10 reps of our push-up variation. So 10 push-ups, whatever variation of push-ups you're doing, 10 reps. So for round 1, I'm doing 10 push-ups and 1 set of 100 with my jump rope, and that's it. That's round 1. Round 1 is going to be super simple and it's going to go by fast, but then it's going to start getting a lot harder, a lot faster. So there are going to be 5 rounds. With each subsequent round, I'm going to be adding on 1 set of 100 with my jump rope. So for round 1, I'm just going to do 1 set of 100 with my jump rope. Round 2, I'm going to do 2 sets of 100 with my jump rope. Round 3, 3 sets of 100. Round 4, 4 sets of 100. And for our 5th and final round, I'm going to be doing 5 sets of 100 with my jump rope. So that's super easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got it. All right, for our strength exercises, we're doing 10, 25, 50, 75, and 150. That's how the reps work. So with each round, we're adding on 1 exercise. So round 1 is going to be 10 push-ups and 1 set of 100 with the jump rope. That's round 1, done. Round 2, 10 push-ups and then 25 reps of our ab exercise. And then 2 sets of 100 with the jump rope because it's round 2, okay? Round 3, 10 push-ups, 25 reps of abs, 50 lunges, and then 3 sets of 100 with the jump rope because it's round 3. Round 4, we're going to add on another strength training exercise. So 10 reps of push-ups, 25 reps of abs, 50 reps of lunges, and then 75 glute bridge raises. And then since it's round 4, 4 sets of 100 with the jump rope. And so for our 5th and final round, we'll do 10 push-ups, 25 reps of abs, 50 lunges, 75 glute bridge raises, and 150 squats, and then 5 sets of 100, and that's it. That's the workout. If it helps to write it down, and then you can just refer to it as you're going, but I'm going to do the workout with you so you can just follow along with what I'm doing. But hopefully that's clear. Please remember that I do always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video. And of course, again, I'm going to be doing the entire workout right along with you. So watch me do it, read the instructions, but then as always, if anything is unclear with the format and how everything fits together, if you have any questions about the exercises that we are doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do any of these exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with beginner modifications beyond what I have already provided, please remember that I am always here to help, so ask questions if you have them. It is really important that you understand how to do the exercises correctly before you begin the workout so that you reduce your risk of injury, and also just so that you make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of each exercise. And hopefully you guys know that it is also incredibly important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me. So I'm always here to help facilitate that. Please do not hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help. I also want to remind you, especially if you're going to be working out along with the video, to please make sure that you are going at your own pace and minding your form. So if you are in great shape, you are definitely going to be faster than I am, and that's wonderful. Be faster than I am. If you get too far ahead of me, you can always skip ahead in the video. Just make sure you're not losing anything off of your form to get there. So if you're racing to stay ahead of me just so you can beat my score, that's fine as long as you are minding your form. If you start to get sloppy because you're prioritizing beating my score over your form, then you need to slow down. And the same thing, if you're slower than I am, wonderful. Be slower than I am. As long as you got dressed and you got out here with me today and you are doing the work and you are doing the reps, that is all I care about. So don't worry about how fast you're going. Worry that you are executing each rep with excellent form. It is always going to be safer and more effective to do your reps a little slower with excellent form than it is to race and just go through the motions. So if you're racing to stay ahead of me or you're racing to keep up with me, if your form starts to get sloppy, slow down. And just make sure that you're working to your own level. So that means going at your own pace. It means modifying the exercises if necessary. It means shortening up your range of motion if necessary. It means resting as needed. So if you find that you're needing longer rest breaks than what I'm taking, or if you're needing rest breaks where I'm not taking them, then you should rest, okay? If you fall behind, either because you're just working at a slower pace than I am, or you're needing longer rest breaks than what I'm taking, you're needing rest breaks where I'm not taking them, that's fine. Pause the video. Come back when you're ready. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here. We can get back into it together. I do want you to challenge yourself to keep your rest breaks as short as you can, but they should be as long as you need. You should only resume the workout once you feel that you have regained enough strength and you have enough stamina so that you can continue with good form. So please just be smart, be safe, okay? Listen to your body and make the decision that is best for you. Please do not push your body into doing anything that it is not ready to do. Go at your own pace, work to your own level, mind your form, do not sacrifice your form for speed, and just do your best. Remember that your best is always good enough, so let your best be good enough. Hopefully I have covered everything. If you're ready to go ahead and begin the workout, then make sure you have something soft beneath you. So an exercise mat or a yoga mat is ideal, but if you don't have a mat, again, a towel may suffice. And if you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything at all. Grab your jump rope if you have one, and if you're jumping rope with me today, pause the video, go get dressed, meet me right back here. We're going to start with a quick little 5-minute warm up and then we'll get right into the workout. So as soon as you're ready, let's get started with our 5-minute warm up. You're going to begin by just allowing your head to fall towards one shoulder. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. You are not actively pulling your ear down towards your shoulder. Your arms should be completely relaxed. You're just allowing gravity to do all the work of gently stretching the opposite side of your neck by just using the weight of your arm. Now we're going to switch sides, so let go of your hand, allow your head to fall towards the opposite shoulder, place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Your arms should be completely relaxed and your shoulders should be completely relaxed as well. So make sure you're not allowing your shoulders to creep up here by your ears. They should be down and back, away from your ears. Next, we're going to do some head rolls. So you're going to begin by allowing your chin to fall first towards your chest and then towards the other shoulder and back. And each time you roll your head from one shoulder to the other, just start feeling your head getting heavier and heavier, allowing your range of motion to increase. Your arms should be nice and loose like a rag doll. And then finally, you just allow your entire torso to kind of spill in front of you. Now we're going to roll the shoulders. I roll my shoulders to the back. You can roll them to the front. It doesn't matter. Just make sure that you're exploring your full range of motion as you're doing these circles with your shoulders. So make really big circles. Next, we're going to do arm circles, but we're going to start small with our arm circles. So you're going to begin by extending your arms straight out to the side and making small circles. Again, you can make your circles towards the back or towards the front. It doesn't matter. But gradually, as the interval progresses, you want to start making your circles bigger and bigger until finally you're exploring your full range of motion, making the circles as big as you possibly can. Now, feet wider than shoulder width apart. You're going to bend the knees and sweep your arms in front of you. And as you straighten your legs, you're reaching up, stretching as high as you can towards the ceiling. Each time you bend your knees, you're allowing your range of motion to increase a little more, sinking deeper and deeper into that squat. Now keep your feet planted right where they are. They should be wider than shoulder width apart. We're going to lunge side to side, nice and easy. And now add the arms. So now with each lunge, you're just reaching across your body. It should feel like you're trying to throw your arm across the room. Next, we're going to march in place. So you're going to step your feet in and just march. Knees are low to start. But gradually, as the interval progresses, you can start driving your knees up higher and higher towards your chest until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you possibly can towards your chest. Feel a nice little stretch in your glutes. And now we're going to jog in place. Same thing, knees are low to start. But gradually you're going to start driving your knees up higher and higher towards your chest until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you can towards your chest. And now we're going to do booty kicks. So final jogging interval. But now with each step, you want to bring your foot behind you. Actually try to kick yourself in the booty cheek with your heel. For this next one, if you struggle with balance, you can hold onto the wall or a chair for support. If not, hands on the hips is fine. Shift your weight into one foot. You're going to pick up the opposite foot and just swing the leg front and back. Nice and easy. Just waking up those hip flexors. And now we're going to switch sides. So you'll put this foot down, transfer your weight, pick up the opposite foot, and swing the leg front and back. And again, you can start low, but gradually as the interval progresses, if it feels comfortable for you, you can start expanding your range of motion, swinging that leg higher and higher. Now put this foot down, pick up the other foot, extend the leg out in front of you, and bring it around and behind, making a little semicircle. Each time you make that semicircle with your leg, you want to lift the leg higher and higher. And for the final 2 reps, we're going to do a hip circle. So drive the knee up in front of you. Use your hand to guide it around. Other leg. Extend the opposite leg out in front. Bring it around and behind. Each time you make that semicircle, lifting the leg higher and higher. And 2 hip circles. Drive the knee up towards your chest. Use your hand to guide it around. Finishing with a hamstring stretch. I'm using this post to assist me. You want your feet wide apart, and you want to hinge at the hips, keeping your back as flat as possible. So if you use the wall or a chair or the arm of your couch or something like that to assist you, it can make this stretch a little bit more accessible, maybe a little more comfortable, because it helps you to keep your back nice and flat as you come into the stretch. And that just allows you to isolate your hamstrings more effectively. But that's it, that's our little 5-minute warm up. So let's go ahead and get right into the workout. We are starting with 10 push-ups. Any push-up variation you want to do is fine. I am starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So I'm going to be doing pike, toe tap, push-ups. So push up, now lift the hips, reach back with one hand and tap the toes on the other side. Alternating sides with each rep. Reps. So each time we're doing push-ups, it's always going to be 10 reps of push-ups. And we're doing push-ups with all 5 rounds. So that's all we're doing this round as far as our strength training exercises. So now we're doing 1 set of 100 with the jump rope. Any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. We're just counting 100 revolutions of the rope. So you'll count like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. So that's it. That's round 1. So remember, if you don't have a jump rope, you're just going to treat each set of 100 that I'm doing with my jump rope as being equivalent to about 1 minute of some other type of cardio exercise. So now round 2, we're starting again with push-ups. So another 10 push-ups. That's 10. So next is abs. Whenever we do abs, it's going to be 25 reps. So any ab exercise you want to do is fine. I'm going to be doing kind of a reverse crunch, and then I'm going to lower my legs back down straight. So I'm starting with my hands clasped behind my neck and my legs straight. I'm going to lift my shoulder blades up off the mat a few inches, lift my heels up off the mat a few inches, and then crunch, straighten the legs, and lower down. Crunch, straight legs, lower down. That's 2. It's 10. That's 15. Don't rest if you don't need to. You guys know I have the world's weakest abs. I'm gonna take a few minutes, or a few seconds, not a few minutes, to breathe. And then I'm gonna see if I can do the final 10 reps uninterrupted. So hands clasped behind the head, legs are straight. Lift the shoulder blades, lift the heels, and now crunch, straighten the legs, and lower down. All right, that's 25. So that's it for this round with regard to our strength training. So now we're finishing each round with cardio. With each round, we're adding one set of 100 with the jump rope or 1 minute of cardio. So 1 more minute on the exercise bike or the treadmill, or 1 more minute up and down the steps. 1 more minute working on the heavy bag or shadow boxing, 1 more minute jogging in place, okay? So either 2 minutes of any kind of moderate paced cardio you want, or 2 sets of 100 with the jump rope. If you trip over your jump rope, you do not have to start the whole set over. Just take a deep breath and get right back into it as quickly as you can. Pick up your count where you left off. So I tripped on rep like 40. I'm gonna pick up my count at 40. I'll do another 60, and that's my first set of 100. That is my first set of 100. Just marking a little slash from here on out so that I don't lose track of my count. So now one more set of 100, and that's it. That's round 2. My second set of 100, and that's it. 2 rounds down, 3 rounds to go. So with each round, we're going to repeat what we did the round before, but we're going to add on one more exercise and one more set of 100 with the jump rope. So for round 3, we're starting with another 10 push-ups. And then abs, another 25 reps of abs. That's 10 for me. My abs are crying, tears of real pain. So I need to rest for a few seconds. I'll see if I can get through another 10 unbroken, but I might just have to do sets of 5 from here on out. Break them up however you need to. If you're stronger than I am and you don't need to break them up, then just do all 25 unbroken. That's obviously preferable if you can do it. It's 15. Oh, it hurts so bad. All right, that's 20. Just 5 more. That's 25. Alrighty. Moving on to legs and glutes. So I'm doing a reverse lunge plus a Supergirl. So this is gonna really hit those glutes hard, but you can do any lunge variation you want. It doesn't even have to be reverse lunge variation. It can be forward lunges, side lunges, curtsy lunges, dragon lunges, jump lunges, tic-tac lunges, whatever you want. But I'm going to be doing a reverse lunge plus a Supergirl. So step one foot back, bend both knees, come down into the lunge. Now pick up this back leg, extend your arms in front of you, come into your warrior three pose. And now touch that back knee back down, step the foot forward. That's one rep. We're alternating sides with each rep. So now stepping back with the opposite foot, bend both knees, come down into your lunge. Pick up that opposite foot and hinge at the hips, coming into your warrior three pose. Tap that back knee down, step it forward. That's two. So make sure that you have a soft bend to the knee of your standing leg. Step one foot back and lunge. Warrior three, tap the knee down, step forward. Other leg, reverse lunge, Supergirl, and step the foot forward. All right, so I'm gonna zip it because we have to do 50 reps and I need to conserve my energy. So I'm picking up my count at 4. As soon as you're ready, here we go. That's 10. So fight for that balance. Obviously that last rep was really wobbly. If you find that you're wobbling around and losing your balance, just go with it, okay? Because every time you are fighting for your balance and wobbling around, it's actually great core work. You are causing all of those tiny little stabilizer muscles all throughout your core to be firing like crazy. So I know it's frustrating. We want everything to look smooth and beautiful. Perfection is always the goal, but perfection does not exist. So embrace the wobble and just remind yourself that you're doing amazing things for your core and you're building strength and you're improving your balance, and it will get easier. And again, if it gets to be too tedious, you can eliminate the Supergirl or Warrior 3. You can just do a leg lift or any lunge variation you want, okay? I'm picking up my count at 10. We're doing 50 reps total. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. That's 20. So remember, you want to hold that Supergirl pose or warrior three pose just long enough where you feel like the movement is completely under control, and you could stay there all day if you wanted to. Once you have that sensation, you can come out of it. If you need a longer rest break, pause the video, come back when you're ready. I'm going to go ahead and get started on my next 10 reps. So I'm picking up my count at 20. That's 30 for me, 20 more. That's 40. Just 10 more reps, and then we'll move on to cardio. And then that's round 3. That's 50. So round 3, 3 strength training exercises, 3 sets of 100 with the jump rope. body. Is 3 sets of 100. And that is round 3. So the good news is we're more than halfway there. We've completed 3 rounds out of 5. The bad news is you can see the rounds get longer and tougher as we go on. So with each subsequent round, adding on 1 more strength training exercises, but we're always doing the same number of reps of a given exercise. So push-ups, always 10 reps of push-ups. As soon as you're ready, here we go. After push-ups is always abs. It's always 25 reps of abs. That's 15 for me. I have to do 10 more. So I'm gonna breathe for a few seconds. I'm gonna try to do these final 10 without stopping. But if I can't, I'll just do 5 and 5, it's fine. Break them up however you need to. As long as the reps get done, it doesn't matter. All right, picking up my cat at 15. It's 20. That's 25. All right, up. Next is lunges. So lunges, always going to be 50 reps. So far we're just repeating what we did for round 3. And then after that, we'll add on our next exercise, which is glute bridge raises. But first, 50 lunges. As soon as you're ready, here we go. It's 10 for me. As I fatigue, you can see me struggling more and more with my balance. So just keep fighting for that balance and keep doing your best and keep reminding yourself that, what am I gonna say? Your best is always good enough. So let your best be good enough. As soon as you're ready, let's start on our next 10. So I'm picking up my count at 10. That's 20 for me. 3 more sets of 10. Halfway there, keep going. That's 30. I'm trying to strike a balance because I want to keep my pace up. So we're doing a lot of reps and I don't want it to take me forever, but this is also an exercise you can't really rush. You see sometimes when I'm trying to go too fast and I'll lose my balance. So just go at your own pace. That was 30 for me. So I have to do 2 more sets of 10. That was 40 for me. I just have to do 10 more. That's 50. So now we've completed our first 3 strength training exercises. So far we've just repeated what we did in round 3. But remember, with each subsequent round, we add on 1 more strength training exercise. So our next exercise is glute bridge raises, and we're doing 75 reps of these. If you need a longer rest break, pause the video and come back when you're ready. Press, you're starting on your back with your knees bent, feet flat on the mat. Now press your heels into the mat, lift your hips as high as you can, squeeze the glutes at the top, and then control the movement on the way down. It's 25. So we're a third of the way there. Let's keep pushing. It's 30. It's 40. That's 50. 2/3 of the way there. We just have to do another 25 reps. Make sure as you fatigue that you don't let yourself get lazy. Make sure you're continuing to actively press your heels into the mat and lift your hips as high as you possibly can. Get them up as high as you can, like you're trying to make an imprint of your hip flexors on the ceiling. And make sure you're really squeezing those glutes at the top. As soon as you're ready, here we go. I'm picking up my count at 50. We just have to do 25 more. That's 70, just 5 more. Push. 1, 2, 3. That's 74, 75. So that's 4 strength training exercises because this is round 4. And now we're moving on to cardio. 4 sets of 100 with the jump rope, or 4 minutes of moderate pace cardio because this is round 4. See, it makes sense. I know, legs are jelly. It's going to be very difficult to get my feet up and over the rope. So I might start tripping a lot over my jump rope. It's fine. Do your best not to let the frustration dictate your mindset moving forward because we still have lots of reps left to go. It's only one more round after this, but it's a lot more reps. So if you allow the frustration to overtake your mindset, you're just going to sabotage the rest of your workout. Nothing good can come of that. So feel the frustration, that's fine. I know when you're trying to jump over your rope and you're tripping over it instead, that's very frustrating, that's normal, and that's natural. I'm not saying to stifle it. I'm saying to do your best to just leave it behind you, take a deep breath, get right back into it, and just keep doing your best. As long as you're getting the reps done, you're getting your heart rate up, that's what matters, okay? So as soon as you're ready, here we go. 4 sets of 100 with the jump rope. I'm gonna start that set over because I only did like 10 revolutions. All right, take 2. One more set. Lost track of my count. I think that was 100, but I also feel like I might have skipped 10, so it may have been 110 revolutions of the rope, but at least I feel confident that it was at least 100. All right, that's round 4. Just one round left to go. It's gonna be a long, tough round. I'm gonna take a minute to breathe. We'll wait for the plane. As far as strength training, we're going to repeat what we just did in round 4. So 10 push-ups, 25 reps of abs, 50 lunges, 75 glute bridge raises, and then before we move on to jump rope, we're going to add on our 5th and final strength training exercise, which is going to be 150 squats. And then we'll finish up with our final 5 sets of jump rope, and that's round 5. All right, so it's gonna be a long, tough round. Do your best, rest as needed. If you need a longer rest break before we begin round 5, pause the video, towel off, get a sip of water, and when you feel that your heart rate has come down to a level that you're comfortable with, you feel like your breathing has normalized a little bit and you have enough strength and you have enough stamina to tackle this 5th and final round with good form, you can come back. We are starting with 10 push-ups. As soon as you're ready, here we go. Reps of abs. It's 15. Remember, you can also do this same exercise with your back flat on the mat. It's a bit easier, but if that's still too difficult, just a reminder, you can be doing any ab exercise you want, okay? I know this one is tough, although for me, all ab exercises are tough. All right, 10 more reps. It's 20. For the rest of the day. Oh, thank goodness. I feel like I could do abs all day, every day, and I still would cry every time I do them. I feel like no matter what I do, my abs never get stronger. Every time I do abs, I'm in tears. So next is lunges. Always 50 reps when we do lunges. Well, today anyway, not like all the time. But for this workout, anytime we're doing lunges, it's always 50 reps. We're just adding on exercises. We're never adding on reps. Except with the jump rope, but you know what I mean. All right, if you need a longer rest break, pause the video, come back when you're ready. I'm gonna go ahead and start on my lunges, 50 reps. That's 10. Don't rest if you don't need to. I've just been breaking these down into sets of 10 and it's making it more manageable for me. So trying to keep my rest breaks as short as I can in between sets. So I'm going to start on my next set of 10. Picking up my count at 20. That's 30 for me. So I just have 2 more sets of 10. That's 40. Just 10 more. And then that's our last lunge of the day. So picking up my count at 40. That's 48, last two. 49, last one. And 50. So lunges are done. Push-ups are done. We've completed a total of 50 push-ups on the day. Abs are done. We completed a total of 100 reps of abs. And lunges are done. We've done 150 reverse lunges on the day. We're also going to end up doing a total of 150 glute bridge raises and 150 squats. So we're halfway finished with our glute bridge raises already. We're going to do our second set of 75 right now. So knees bent, feet flat on the mat. Press your heels into the mat. Lift your hips as high as you can. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Control the movement on the way down. Do that 74 more times. That's 25. Middle third, here we go. $30. $45. That's 50. $25 reps left to go, and then we are finished with glute bridge raises. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. Final third, picking up my count at 50. 65. That's 60. 65. That's 70, just 5 more. 71, 72, 73, 74, and 75. So that's our repeat of round 4. So now all we have left to do is to just add on our 5th and final strength training exercise, which is squats. $150 reps of squats. I know, my legs don't want to do it. Gonna take a minute to breathe here. Remember, any squat variation you want to do is fine. I'm doing a side step out squat, so I'm going to be starting with my feet together. I'm going to step my feet out as I come down into my squat, and then I'm going to be adding a calf raise. So remember to make sure that you are lifting and lowering your heels with control, as opposed to just letting your heels drop down. Lift and lower the heels with control for that calf raise. Eliminate the calf raise if it's too difficult. Hold on to something for support if you need to. Remember, any squat variation you want to do is fine. Just remember, keep your back flat, keep your weight in the heels. So shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, abs are tight. You're gonna push your booty back so that you're keeping your back flat and the weight in your heels as you come down into your squat, and then press the ground away from you to stand. All right. I've been resting for almost a minute and a half, so I still don't feel like my legs are ready to do 150 squats, but we'll get them done. For sure, I'm gonna break them up, so I'll see if I can do like maybe my first 20 without stopping, hopefully. We'll see what happens, but break them up however you need to. This is it, this is home stretch, okay? We're gonna do our squats, and then we're gonna finish up with 5 more sets of 100 with the jump rope, and that's the workout. So take a break if you need to, pause the video, have a sip of water, towel off. As soon as you're ready, come back. Let's go ahead and get these squats done, and then we just finish up with our cardio section, our final cardio section, okay? So, starting with your feet together, step to the side as you come down into your squat, and then add that calf raise. Make sure you're lowering the heels with control. Back into your squat, and then step the foot in. Return to your starting position, alternating sides with each rep. So now we're going to step to the other side, step the foot out as you come down into your squat. Press the heels into the ground to stand, lift and lower the heels with control, come back into your squat position, and then step the foot in. So that's 2 reps. So step to the side and squat, calf raise, and step the foot in. Other side, step to the side as you sink down into your squat, lift and lower the heels with control. That's 4. Step to the side and squat, calf raise. That's 5. Other side, squat, calf raise. That's 6. 7, 8. Keep going for a long time. I get a lot of reps to do. That's 9 and 10. I'm gonna zip it so I can conserve some energy. See if I can do another 10 before I need to, without stopping, before I need to pause and rest. 20. So I'm not necessarily going until failure. If I was doing a set of 30, I would have just kept going, but I'm pacing myself to do 150 reps. So I'm going to pause here and then see if I can do another unbroken set of 20. So I'm just trying to break them up in the most efficient way possible. So you do what works for you. I'm going to go ahead and start on my next set of 20. So my goal is to get through the next 20 unbroken if I can. Picking up my count at 20. As soon as you're ready, here we go. It's 30. That's 40. To do another unbroken set of 20 if I can, but if not, I'll start doing sets of 10. So I'm making my goal to just do the next 10 without stopping. That'll get me to 50. That'll be a third of the way there, and then I'll gauge how I'm feeling at that point and see if I can keep going for another 10. All right, when you're ready, here we go. Picking up my count at 40. That was 51, 52. I'm gonna keep going. I think I can get to 60, I hope. 3, 4, 5 more. All right, that's 60. My goal is going to continue to do sets, unbroken sets of 20 for as long as I can. So I've done 3 unbroken sets, more or less unbroken sets of 20. I'm gonna see if I can do another one right now. That'll get me to 80. So we're getting there. ready, here we go. I'm picking up my count at 60. That's 75. We're halfway done. Let's keep going. Let's do 5 more. That's 80. If you are stronger than I am, you don't need to rest right here. As long as your form is still looking good and you're still comfortable with your breathing and your heart rate, and you have the strength and the stamina to keep going, you know what we're doing. We're gonna finish up these 150 squats and then finish with our final cardio section. That's it. All right, I'm picking up my count at 80. So I'm going to see if I can do another unbroken set of 20. That'll get me to 100. All right, so we're getting there. When you're ready, here we go. It's 90. $95, $96, $97, $98, $99, that's 100. Two-thirds of the way there. I know it's tough. Okay, I'm going to see if I can still do unbroken sets of 20. So I'm picking up my count at 100. My goal is to get to 120 before I have to pause and rest. But if I can't, that's fine. I'll start doing sets of 10. All right, when you're ready, here we go. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. We're almost an hour and 20 minutes in. I did not set a time goal, but if I had, it would have been less than 90 minutes. So let's see if we can finish in under 90 minutes. We have about 10 minutes left if we want to make that goal. So I am picking up my count at 120. I'm going to see if I can do one more unbroken set of 20 with my squats, and then I'll rest, and then I'll just have to finish up with 10 final reps of squats, and I'll grab my jump rope and we'll get this final jump rope section done. Here we go. Picking up my count at 120. As soon as you're ready. It's 130. $135. That's 140. All right, we made it. Just 10 more reps. Then we just have like another 5 minutes of cardio. Let's do this. Pick up my count at 140. Final 10 reps of squats. It's 145. 146. 147, 148, that's 149, last one, 150. Okay. Strength training is done. All we have left to do is our 5th and final cardio section. So it's round 5. That means for me, 5 sets of 100 with the jump rope. You could be doing about 5 minutes or so of any kind of moderate paced cardio exercise you want. Wish me luck, because my legs are jelly. This is gonna be a tough 5 sets. We got this. Just do your best. Here we go. As soon as you're ready, final 5 sets of 100 with the jump rope. My legs are shaking. go. My legs are quite literally like just shaking. All right, set number 2. Just one more set to go. That's it. That was our 5th and final set of jump rope, and that completes round 5. That ended up taking me a total of 1 hour, 28 minutes and 7 seconds. So, like I said, I didn't set a time goal at the start, but I would have liked to finish it a little bit faster than that, but that was a phenomenal workout, and it was super tough. And I'm really glad I got it done, but we are not quite finished yet. No workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. But first, whenever I do a workout that incorporates jump rope, in addition to my bonus burpee, I also like to do a bonus set of 100 with my jump rope. So the bonus burpee is mandatory. The bonus set of jump rope is completely optional. So if you do not want to do the bonus set of jump rope, that's fine. Take another minute to breathe, cheer me on. If you do want to do this bonus set of jump rope with me, again, any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. We're just counting 100 revolutions of the jump rope. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. Counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that is 100. So that's our little bonus set of 100 with the jump rope. And now we have just one rep left to go. Let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. Final rep of the day. The workout is now officially complete, so let's just do a quick cool down together. You just want to keep moving while you allow your heart rate to come down a little bit and while you allow your breathing to normalize. So you can pace back and forth, you can kind of shake out the legs and focus on slowing down your breathing by really feeling your diaphragm being pulled down as you inhale. Think about breathing all the way down to your belly button. Allow your rib cage to expand and visualize filling up your entire torso with air. And then use your diaphragm to control the air as you exhale. Let's do a quick little shoulder stretch. So you're going to just bring one arm across your body, use your other arm to pull it in close to your chest. Make sure that your straight arm is completely relaxed and make sure your shoulder is relaxed. If your shoulder is tense and hunched up by your ear, you're not going to be able to stretch it effectively. So relax the arm, relax the shoulder, feel that nice stretch in your shoulder and continue to move. So I'm just kind of shaking out my legs. You can pace if that feels more comfortable for you, or you can really just even shift your weight from foot to foot. Let's take one more deep breath here, sending that breath all the way down to your belly button as you inhale. Using your diaphragm to control the exhale. Shake it out. Let's get the other side. So bringing the opposite arm across your body, using your other arm to pull it in close to your chest. Your straight arm is completely relaxed. Your shoulder is completely relaxed. Feel that nice stretch in your shoulder. Keep moving. I'm just kind of shifting my weight from foot to foot. You can shake out the legs, you can pace, and make sure you're continuing to focus on your breathing. So let's take one more nice deep breath here. Really feel your diaphragm being pulled down as you inhale. Send that breath all the way down to your belly button. And control the air as you exhale. All right, let's do a tricep stretch. So bending one elbow, place your hand on the elbow, and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder, making sure that the fingers on your free hand are pointing straight down at the ground. Feel that nice stretch in your triceps. You want to avoid having your free hand hanging around up here by your shoulder or your elbow somewhere. So point those fingers straight down at the ground as you gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. Keep moving. Let's take one more nice deep breath here. Shake it out. And let's get the other side. So bending your other arm, place your hand on the elbow and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder, making sure that the fingers on your free hand are pointing straight down at the ground. Feel that nice stretch in your triceps. Again, I'm just kind of shifting my weight from foot to foot. can shake out the legs, you can pace, just keep moving and keep focusing on your breathing. So let's take one more nice deep breath, breathing all the way down to your belly button. Control the air as you exhale and come out. Let's finish with a quad stretch. So if you struggle with balance, you can hold onto the wall or a chair or the arm of your couch, your dining room table, kitchen counter, anything strong, sturdy, and stable for support. You're going to bend one knee, bring the foot behind you, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with the hand that's on the same side if you're holding onto something for support. If you are not holding onto anything for support, you can go ahead and reach back, grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands and press your heel into your booty cheek. As you are doing that, tilt your pelvis forward. So think about tucking your booty underneath you and trying to touch your spine with your belly button. As you're doing that, as you're tilting your pelvis forward, make sure you're continuing to really press your heel into your booty cheek. As soon as you combine both of those two elements, you should feel that stretch instantly intensify as you isolate your quad muscles more effectively, but I also want you to feel that stretch extend all the way up to your hip flexors when you push your hips forward. So let's get the other side, bending the opposite knee, bring the foot behind you, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with the hand that's on the same side. If you're not holding on to anything for support, you can grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands. Press that heel into your booty cheek. Tilt your pelvis forward. So tucking your booty underneath you, sucking that belly button back towards your spine. And make sure as you're tilting your pelvis forward that you are continuing to really actively press your heel into your booty cheek. Feel that stretch intensify in your quads. And feel that stretch extend all the way up to your hip flexors. One more nice deep breath here. And come out. And one last time, shake out the legs, shake out the wrists, shake out the arms, swing the arms a little bit, and that's it. That is our little cool down. So if you find that you are still breathing heavily, your heart rate is still elevated, take a couple more minutes to just pace around. You can do a little more light stretching. That's a great idea. Just remember that this little bit of light stretching that we do for the cool down does not take the place of a proper stretching routine. It's still really important to make sure that you're taking a good 15 or 20 minutes at least every single day to stretch. It is going to go a long way towards helping to alleviate any muscle soreness that you might be experiencing after the workouts. It's also going to help reduce your risk of injury moving forward, and of course it's going to improve your flexibility. Right now is always going to be the most efficient and the most effective time to get your stretching done because your muscles are already nice and warm from the workout. But if you don't have time to do your stretching right now, that's fine. It doesn't matter what time of day you do your stretching, just as long as you get it done. Just remember that if you do put off your stretching until later on in the day, your muscles will have gotten cold again. So you'll need to take a few minutes to warm them back up before jumping into your stretching routine. You never want to start stretching with cold muscles because your muscles need to be warm in order for them to be pliable so that you can stretch them safely and effectively. So please make sure you're taking the time to stretch every day, but also please make sure that you are doing so safely. But that's it. That's all I have for you today. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did this workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately. And even if you're not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It truly does mean the world to me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything was unclear about the format of today's workout and how everything fits together, if you have questions about the exercises we were doing today, any doubts about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with beginner modifications beyond what I have already provided, I am always here to help, so please just ask. that is going to do it for today, but before I say goodbye, I just have to say one final thank you to those of you who have been watching the videos all the way until the end and commenting with the secret code phrase of the day. So before I say goodbye, I will give you today's secret code phrase of the day. It is, there's always money in the banana stand. So if you are still watching this video, hello, thank you for watching all the way until the end. Please let me know that someone is still watching by going down to the comment section and leaving me a comment that says there's always money in the banana stand. That is going to do it for today. I will see you all next time. Bye.